Dear students, welcome to the third and final session of the video lecture on the chapter Final Speech in the movie The Great Dictator. We have discussed the earlier paragraphs of this speech in two videos. Hope all of you have gone through it. If not, please go back to those video lectures for a clearer understanding of this session. Before going to the class, I wish to brush up your memory by giving the main points Chaplin highlighted in the earlier paragraphs. Chaplin's character begins his speech by apologizing for what he, as a dictator, has done to the world. He says man's innate nature is to help each other and thereby bring happiness to everyone. We must not hate each other. Each one of us has a space in this world. Greed is the root cause for all the miseries, violence, and bloodshed in the world. We must give more importance to humane qualities like kindness and gentleness than to knowledge or cleverness. More than machinery, we need humanity. All great inventions like aeroplane or radio tell us the need to stay united, stress the need for universal brotherhood. Chaplin further says there is no need to despair over the present situations because these stressful times will surely pass when the greedy leaders who caused them die. Chaplin tells the soldiers not to blindly obey their greedy leaders. He demands them to fight for not conquering and enslaving countries, but to fight for liberty. Okay, students, that was a brief summary of the earlier paragraphs. Shall we move on to the sixth paragraph? Please listen. I'll read it once and then explain. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke, it is written, quote, "The kingdom of God is within man," unquote. Not one man nor a group of men, but in all men. In you the people have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You the people have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Coming back to the paragraph. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke, it is written, quote, "The kingdom of God is within man," unquote. Not one man, nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. Chaplin refers to Luke 17 or the 17th chapter of the Gospel of Luke in the New Testament of the Christian Bible. When Jesus was asked when the kingdom of God would come, he answered, "The kingdom of God does not come with observation." He says, quote, "Neither shall they say, 'Lo here' or 'Lo there,' for behold, the kingdom of God is within you," unquote. Chaplin slightly modifies the statement and says, "It is not in one man nor a group of men, but God's kingdom is there in all men." Chaplin quotes the verse in the Gospel of Luke to make his point clear that every person has the divine qualities within him, which, if he uses, can create God's kingdom on earth. Coming to the next line, you the people have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You the people have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Chaplin says, people have got immense powers. They have created powerful machines. They also have the power to create happiness. He further says that people have the power to make life free and beautiful, which in turn will make it a wonderful, exciting, and daring experience. Coming to the summary and analysis of this paragraph. In this paragraph, Chaplin establishes his main argument. He refers to the 21st verse in the Gospel of Luke, where Jesus tells on one occasion that God's kingdom is within man. Chaplin modifies the statement and says the kingdom of God is not within one man or a group of men, but it is in all men. He tries to highlight the point that people have immense powers. When people unite and reach out to help others, kingdom of God will be there on earth. It is the people who have created wonderful machines. They also have the power to create happiness. They have the power to make this life free and beautiful, which in turn will make this life a wonderful, exciting, and daring experience. Chaplin arrives at the main point he wants to communicate to the whole world, that the ultimate power rests with the people. If the divine powers like love, compassion, and generosity that are innate in all men are utilized for creating happiness in the world, the life on earth will become free and beautiful. Coming to the 7th paragraph, please listen. I'll read it once. Then, in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill the promise. They never will. Coming to the paragraph again. Then, in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Charlie Chaplin requests all of us to use that innate power and unite for the sake of democracy. Remember, in the earlier passage, he tells that men do have the power to create happiness. He also says that this will make our life free and beautiful. We have to unite for the sake of democracy. Coming to the second line, let us fight for a new world, a decent world that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. Chaplin wants the people to fight for a new world. He calls it a decent world because in that world, every man will get a chance to work. The younger generation will get a brighter future and the older will be safe and secure. Coming to the next line, by the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill the promise. They never will. He says, all leaders come to power, giving promises to develop the society, to bring peace, harmony to all. Chaplin says that the leaders are giving false promises. They are lying because these leaders lack humanity. They are selfish brutes. They don't have humane qualities in them, so they can never fulfill their promises. Coming to the summary and analysis of the paragraph. Through this paragraph, Chaplin emphasizes the importance to stay united. He requests the world community to unite irrespective of caste, creed, color, gender, or nationality for the sake of restoring democracy. Democracy is the one and only system of government where the supreme power is vested in the people and they rule themselves through elected representatives. Democracy can be established only if people stay united. Chaplin says we must fight to create a new world where everyone gets equal chance to work. The young people can get a brighter future and the older generation can live safely and peacefully. Chaplin goes further to state that all the so-called leaders, including the dictators, came to power giving false promises to society. They actually are brutes who lack love, compassion, or generosity, so they can never fulfill their promises. Chaplin makes it very clear that only in a democratic system of government where people have supreme authority, the human community can live a life of peace, hope, and harmony. Autocratic leaders can never bring peace and harmony in the society because they are selfish and greedy. Coming to the last paragraph of the speech, the 8th one, I'll read it once, please listen. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now, let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite. Coming to the paragraph again. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Chaplin continues to blame the dictators for enslaving the people. He says that dictators are free to do anything they want, but they don't give the freedom to the people. They conquer people and make them slaves. Coming to the next line. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. To do away with means to abolish or remove. Chaplin calls for the people of the world to fight to fulfill the promise he had mentioned in the earlier paragraph. He had earlier requested all men to unite for creating a better world where everyone can get a job to sustain himself, younger generation can get a brighter future, and the old people a safe and peaceful life. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Chaplin urges the people to fight to free the world, to abolish all national barriers, to discard greed, hate and intolerance. Coming to the next line, let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite. He demands us to fight for a world of reason, where science and progress will lead to happiness. He once again calls upon the soldiers who had assembled there to unite for the sake of democracy. Coming to the summary and analysis, Chaplin concludes his marvelous speech appealing to the people and the soldiers gathered there to stay united for making the world a better place to live in. He accuses the dictators for capturing countries and enslaving people. He demands all of us to stay united to free the world, abolishing all kinds of national barriers like geographic boundaries, language, creed, race, culture, and also greed, hatred, and intolerance. Chaplin demands people to fight for creating a world of reason, that is, to create a world that acts rationally or logically, where science and progress can lead us to happiness. he concludes his speech requesting once again the soldiers to stay united for the sake of democracy. Coming to the conclusion, through this wonderful speech, Charlie Chaplin has gone down to history as one of the most inspiring and impressive orators. Orator means a speaker. The speech still maintains relevance today. Over 80 years after the death and destruction effected by the last World War, the world is still gripped on the verge of harmful prejudices and ideologies. Race, religion, and nationality have divided the people who are being manipulated by those in power for their personal gain. If things don't change soon, we might soon be heading towards another great war, and this time it might just be the final one mankind will fight. Things need to change, and they need to change now. We must hear messages like this one by Chaplin once again for that change to happen. Dear students, here we conclude the discussions on the chapter Final Speech in the movie The Great Dictator. Hope you followed it very well. Read the chapter again and come back to the videos for better understanding. Thank you for being with me in this journey. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay blessed, stay safe. Thank you.